All right, good evening. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 5:32. I'm going to be calling this meeting in order and just take a moment before we begin to take a moment of silence in honor of the life of my mother, who we actually recently lost since our last meeting. As a lifelong resident of East Los Angeles and a proud alumna of our local schools, her vibrant spirit and love for this community touched many lives. She loved joining me for park cleanups, night markets, and street festivals. And like me, she loves Montebello. So if we can all just join me in a moment of silence in her memory. Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and do the roll call, please.
Chairperson Santana,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Lovano,
Present.
Commissioner Carlin,
Here.
Commissioner Takayama, Commissioner Jimenez.
Here.
Next, we will move to the corrections of the agenda. I'll leave this open to any commissioners if they see any. I did not see any.
I do see one for January. What's this background discussions? The year. This is 2022.
It did say that.
We're back to the future. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other corrections? Thank you, Vice Chair. I did not see that. I did forget a Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry about that. Let's go ahead and insert that here after the corrections of the agenda. Can a commissioner lead us in that?
Sure, I will.
Thank you. Commissioner Carlin.
Please stand. Turn and face the flag. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving now to if there's any public comment.
Thank you, Chairperson. At this time, the general public may address the commission or committees on any items listed on the agenda, including items not listed on the agenda, which are called non-agenda items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this body. Please be aware that the maximum time allotted for members of the public to speak shall not exceed 3 minutes per person. State law prohibits the commission or committee from taking action or entertaining extended discussion on a topic that is not listed on the agenda. Please show courtesy to others and direct all your comments to the chairperson. And I do believe we have one speaker card.
Ms. Ramos? Yeah.
I didn't even get to write my name.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Fiona Remus. I'm the Community Library Manager at Chet Hollerfield Library. As you know, next door to our library is the Chet Hollerfield Park. And I had an idea that I wanted to bring to you. You don't obviously need to decide right away, but I'll just let you know the idea of a story walk, which is, if you are not aware, it is a lot of placards, I guess you would say, and they are placed a few feet apart from each other and they tell a story. So I would be proposing a storybook that's already been published. The library would cover it all, but I just need your permission to put this in the park. I think it would really enhance the community garden that we are looking at adding, because the story I had chosen months ago is called When You Plant a Seed. So it is about how you plant and grow things. Not only you grow vegetables and flowers, but you can plant seeds of kindness as well. It's a touching story. The artwork is beautiful. And so I'd propose that this story walk be installed sometime around the time that the community garden is hopefully opening. So that is all I have, and I'm open to communicating with whoever might have the say on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you.
I have a picture of what one might look like if you want to take it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, seeing that there's no other public comment, we will move to consent items.
Thank you, Chairperson, members of the commission. Item 1 today, we're going to be talking about a park amenities sponsorship program. A little bit of background on that, as you saw in the staff report in 2022, we did bring this item to the previous members of the commission, so it technically is active, but we would like to have this body have a chance to review this project, and we'll have our senior management analyst, Lori Aguilar, make a brief presentation about this item today. Thank you.
Cool. Good evening, commissioners. So today the commission will be considering the implementation of a park amenities sponsorship program. So I'm just going to be providing a little bit more background and details of the program. The main intention of the program is to provide local businesses and residents the opportunity to enhance the city's park system through sponsorships. So the idea kind of began back when the then Culture and Recreation Commission donated the first dogway station, which is currently installed at Acuna Park. And then after that, the community really showed interest. We got a lot of requests to put dogway stations at other parks. So in January of 2020, the Culture and Recreation Commission began a campaign to solicit sponsors. However, COVID ultimately ended up putting that program on hold. So since then, the Recreation Department has installed dogway stations throughout the city just to fill that need in the meantime. So now staff is proposing to implement a more formal program where sponsors can come in, fill out an application, and then we'd also like to expand the program beyond just dogway stations. So sponsorship opportunities would also include benches, picnic tables, picnic shelters, and drinking fountains. And then additionally, a recognition plaque would be installed alongside the sponsorship. And so the donation cost takes into consideration both the cost of the amenity and the plaque. And then just some highlighted requirements of the program. The city would have final approval of all the amenities, the amenity location, and the plaque wording. And then the city would maintain the donation for the expected life cycle of the amenity. And we'll make an effort to notify any sponsors when the donated item would be taken out of commission, but the city will maintain it for as long as possible. And then these terms are detailed in the attached interest form. So this is a draft version. And then upon approval, staff will work to finalize the final form and then work on developing marketing materials before announcing the program to the public. So at this time, if there's any questions, we'll take them now.
Commissioners, are there any questions?
Sure, I have a question. So this right now is just a concept, an idea? Like if we were to, if we say yes and then someone in the audience or someone listening says, oh, I'd like to go ahead and purchase a bench. Do we have the ability to accept funds, maintain funds, approve and start a project, or is this still in the infancy stages?
Not quite like when this meeting ends, but once we get approval, then we'll be able to develop and finalize the program. So then we can like announce a release date to the public for when they can start coming in and filling out applications.
In that, how does the city intend to receive funds? Like if someone were to donate some funding, where does that money go? Where does it stay? And then I understand the city runs on a fiscal year. Mm-hmm. What happens to those funds in those years, or how does it get maintained until the project's complete?
So on the interest form, we kind of put specific donation amounts for whatever amenity it is that they're interested in donating. And then that money would be given to the city, taken by our finance department, and then we would use those funds to purchase and install the amenity.
Okay, so then we need to also like work with finance and still build out this program then?
Yeah, that's correct. We'd have to finalize the details, but the finance department does have like the ability to take payments because we do currently take payments for varying things throughout the city, but it is something we'd have to officially kick off with finance.
Well, I appreciate the idea and the wonderful work. I do think it's an opportunity for people to continue to invest in the city they live in. And if it has an opportunity to beautify the city, I think that's an awesome idea. I hope this comes to fruition. I understand we're still planning and there's a lot of details that probably may be needed, but thank you for the report.
Yeah, Commissioner Jimenez, go ahead.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think just a suggestion, perhaps, this would be a good opportunity to partner up with the Chamber of Commerce once we do have it and we roll it out. They could be a good partner in helping us identify a lot of the businesses that can help us sponsor some of these amenities.
Vice Chair, oh, go ahead.
I do have one question. You know, on the bottom line it says desired location. What if one location receives more funding than other ones, and other parks don't receive nothing? Is there something that we're going to strategize to make sure that everybody's getting a fair share of whatever is being donated?
Thank you, Vice Chair. Good question. So the desired location is meant to say that we'll take that into consideration, but there's also a need by the city, and we know where the needs are throughout the park. So we would obviously let the donor know if that can't come to fruition. They really had their heart set on Ashia, but we need a bench at Hollyfield, for example, right? So city has final say, and that's one of the line items in the draft policy and the draft process to this is that we'll have the final say on location and type of amenity.
Thank you. All great questions, Commissioners. Much appreciated. I'll go ahead now and actually make this motion to approve this recommended park and rec amenities sponsorship program. Can I get a second?
Second?
Thank you, Commissioner Jimenez. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, motion is approved. Seeing that there's no other consent items, we'll move on to staff communications.
Thank you, Chairperson, members of the Commission. Again, we're updating the Commission and the community, the folks watching that watch this now and live and possibly later, about some of the great projects and programs going on within the city at this time. So we'll start off again. We're doing monthly updates with you guys about a lot of our Measure A funded programs. Some old photos here. We showed some newer photos last time. Didn't snap it today, but we have the grass was installed today, the turf, the outfield turf for the soccer baseball field today. So exciting milestone in this project. And you guys know, again, for the record and also for the Commission's consideration and reminder, this is a Measure A funded program. The city gets the Measure A allocation every year, and we decided to make this amenity upgrade for a lot of reasons, besides it being older and dilapidated, but also ADA accessibility is now going to be achieved at this park and this field specifically. So again, construction is underway. Like I mentioned today, the newest milestones, the irrigation is done, all the demolition is done of the old facilities and old bleachers, and the new sod has been installed as of today, and it is beautiful. There's a picture on the left of the sod in process, so not quite laid out, but again, like I said, today it's out there and it's amazing. Can't stress that enough, how much I enjoy the grass there. But you can see some progress there. So middle picture shows fencing removed from the dugouts where there used to be a below ground dugout, now is at grade. And on the right picture, the third picture shows the new concrete slab. So if you were familiar with the park, you would notice there was asphalt and broken concrete that supported the old bleachers, and now we'll have a new set of bleachers coming in once this is ordered and cured. So that is the City Park base field project, and if there's any questions, I could take them for this project at this time.
Seeing none, thank you.
All right. Another milestone today. So we've talked about this project quite a few times at the commission level. And again, we appreciate your support. So 2 years ago, the city received funding to renovate this area. It's basically public right-of-way. It's considered sidewalk in the public works world. But where the Barnyard Zoo sign is on the southeast corner of Beverly and Rhea Drive, dilapidated area, not a lot of going on in terms of park amenities, and the city was able to receive competitive funding, which is a separate bank of money from the Regional Parks District from our annual allocation. So this extra money that we received is going to renovate that corner, make it more publicly accessible. As you can see there, you'll see the DG walkway, the decomposed granite. And then obviously the biggest highlight is going to be the removal of the old city-owned Barnyard Zoo sign with the replacement of a new digital LED sign. So a little bit of what's gone on so far. We split the project into two phases because there's a lot of specialty in the sign electronics. So phase one is what you see on the top, the schematic there. All the landscape amenities, all the demolition, all the beautifications, I guess you could say, plant material, trees, lights, benches. will take place along with the demolition of the sign. And then phase 2, which we anticipate working with Public Works and going out to bid for that in January or February, will take place shortly thereafter. Today we had the project walk with the contractor that was awarded for phase 1, and they'll begin working on this in February. So that project is now moving along, and excited to say that. And we appreciate the public's patience, specifically the Barnyard Zoo folks, for living with us there on that sign. If any questions about this project, we can take them at this time. All right.
Seeing that there's none, thank you.
Thank you. And my last item for me, then I'll pass it off. Last Thursday, we had our community outreach meeting at Hollyfield Park. The new location of the community garden, what you see there is the proposed schematic with the LA Community Garden Council. So all the public outreach that was required for this project per Regional Parks District, again, this is an annual allocation project that we use our money, our city money, to bring this new amenity to the city. The first community garden in the city is now at Hollyfield Park. So the outreach was done and completed, but we, just like the folks at the LA Community Garden Council, also like more transparency than less. So we're going to keep presenting this at commission. We're going to we hosted the meeting there last Thursday. Again, wasn't required from the funding source. We want to let the folks that live on that side of town have an idea what's coming to their park. So what you see there is basically, I won't go too much into detail since we've done this a few times here for this one, but you'll see a lot of garden beds and a lot of gathering areas, decomposed granite service, and between 40 to 80 gardening raised beds, as well as 5 communals. So that will take place and get done here hopefully by April. Our plan and our goal, and I'll say it here, so hold us to it, is to open by Earth Day. It's a fairly simple on the construction side. It's fenced and it's DG, so I don't anticipate too many issues there. But again, that's the project that's coming your way to South Montebello at Hollyfield Park. If there's any questions about the community garden, I can answer them at this time.
Sure, I have a question. And I understand that this project's well on its way. And we just had a speaker talk, and I don't know if you had an opportunity to exchange information and vet out any possibility to have a partnership with the county library in order to put on the story walk. I don't even know if it's feasible, but if you could take a moment to exchange information with them, vet it out through your staff, and then come up with a resolution whether you can move forward and have a partnership with the LA County Libraries, that would be amazing. At least we can get a yes or no depending on what your findings are.
Thank you, Commissioner. We will make sure to do that. Holiday park hours. No other questions? I'm sorry. For the community garden, I'm sorry. So holiday park hours, the parks are obviously open to the public. There's not fenced off, so they're going to be open to the public. But special hours for the park amenities, which means the gated facilities, the pickleballs, the tennis, the restrooms specifically. Christmas Eve next Tuesday, parks will be open from 7 a.m. to 5. Closed on Christmas Day, and again, open, like gates will be open. People will be able to go into the park and enjoy amenities, but none of the fenced off things will be open to the public. New Year's Eve, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and New Year's Day, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Standard practice, typically we do this for all the holidays, Thanksgiving included, but just wanted to make sure the commission was aware, so that way if they get any questions and the public could see this now, we'll all be on the same page, right? So if any questions about that?
Seeing none.
All right, and lastly for me, tonight, the commissioners have all graciously volunteered their time to join our Public Affairs Division. They will be going around to view the 19 or 20 homes that submitted for our various categories for our annual home decorating contest. So I just want to thank the commission and all the folks that submitted. We did announce this on social media a few times, and hopefully that brings momentum for folks. So we got 100 entries next year, right? But we're going to go ahead and jump on that transit bus after this meeting, and I want to thank the commission for their time again on this. Thank you. And if there's no questions, I will be passing it off to our Recreation Manager, Veronica Ramirez, for our winter programs.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Chairperson Santana, members of the Commission. Starting with our winter camp. Camp registration opened on November 21st and remains open for our upcoming winter camp set to take place at the Youth Center beginning next Monday, December 23rd. Parents can sign up their children ages 5 to 14 for up to 3 weeks of activity at $100 per week with additional sibling discounts available. The Adaptive Recreation Holiday Party has been rescheduled from its original date of December 18th and will now take place this coming Monday, December 23rd from 5 to 7 p.m. at Hollyfield Park. The youth sports update, pardon me. Youth sports staff are wrapping up another successful flag football season, which saw a total of 175 kids participate in 5 separate age divisions. This past weekend marked the end of the regular season games, followed by a banquet at Reggie Rodriguez Park. Each team was recognized for their dedication and sportsmanship throughout the season and presented with awards and certificates to acknowledge everyone. The season will officially conclude this upcoming weekend with championship games. Our youth basketball registration is underway. However, some of our divisions are already full or nearing capacity. We will continue registration online and in person until full or until our teams are finalized. A parent meeting will be hosted by our youth sports staff via Zoom on January 6th. And we are adding a new class through the UNET Dance Studio. They are going to be offering hip hop, ballet, jazz, tap classes, and I believe I said hip hop already, for individuals ages 3 to 18 beginning of January next year. We are also looking into potentially offering additional soccer and tennis options for the upcoming season. You go to the next slide, please. Winter Wonderland took place on Saturday, December 7th from 3 to 9 at City Hall. The event featured food and craft vendors, snow slides, Santa's Craft Village, a community stage featuring a puppet show and magic show, pictures with Santa Claus, and new to the event this year, a 40-foot ice rink, which was a big hit with all of our event goers. Our tree lighting ceremony kicked off at 7 p.m. with the delivery of Santa Claus via the Montebello fire truck, followed by the lighting of the Christmas tree. We estimated a total of 5,000 people in attendance for that event. And lastly, for me, our toy and food distribution event took place on Tuesday, December 17th here at City Hall, where volunteers generously donated their time to help us distribute gifts to needy families in the community. Staff worked with Montebello Unified School District representatives to identify 140 school-age children in need of assistance, and families were contacted in advance to inform them of their selection and coordinate the delivery of gifts to their residences. With the help of sponsors and volunteers, each selected recipient received 3 age-appropriate toys, and their families received a full bag of groceries in addition to a gift card. We're incredibly grateful to those that came out in support of the program and want to recognize our fire, police, transit, human resources, administration, and public works departments, in addition to city council commissioners and local service organizations. And with that, that concludes my remarks. If anyone has any questions on the updates.
I just had one. I'll see if any other commissioners do. The status on the coaches for the basketball, how is that? How is that full, or is there still a need for coaches?
I believe we are always looking for coaches, and I know they're still accepting applications. So certainly we would welcome more, because we can then take more registrations and form a new team.
So the registration is dependent on how many coaches are able to coach?
We have some flexibility with that depending on the division, but please don't quote me. It's certainly something we can look into. If there's something specific you had in mind, we can definitely look into that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
No questions? Okay, there's no other questions. Thank you so much for the staff communications. Now we'll move to our commission or committee orals. I will go ahead and save mine for last, if anybody would like to go first.
I'll go first.
Vice
I
Chair,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say happy holidays to everyone. So far, it's been a pleasure. Being in this commission with all of you guys and the directors and all the staff. And I look forward to a great year next year, so we can make our community better, and hopefully we'll enhance all the stuff we do here. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairperson. Commissioner Carlin?
Yes, I'd be remiss if I didn't start and send my sincerest condolences to you from the Carlin family to your family. That's never easy. And I just want to know you have my support, prayers, and thoughts. I also want to say thank you with an expression of gratitude to the staff here that worked tirelessly to put on all these programs. I wasn't able to make it to the Winter Wonderland, but to hear that there was an ice rink, I love hearing that we're doing things just a little bit different, or just a little bit more, or just a little bit in another way, rather than just let's do it like we did last year. So I want to applaud whoever came up with the idea, And I want to encourage the staff to continue to push and try to find other ways to serve the community. And so I just want to come and say thank you. And then just lastly, Merry Christmas to all, and really have a great, wonderful new year. And we look forward to planning more exciting things in 2025. Thank you.
Yes, I also would like to echo what my colleagues are saying. Chairperson, my sincere condolences on behalf of our family to yours. I know it's not simple, but know that with us you have a friend and you have support. And I know that you have the support of the community as well. But yeah, to echo what I think our colleagues said it very well, I would like to wish our staff, our community, our residents a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I think it has been a very eventful year, without a doubt, but I wouldn't change anything. I think it's been a year full of much success, a lot of great events. I can tell you by listening to the community that they're very excited about what we did this year, but I think even more excited about what's to come next year. And I am very hopeful that with this team that we have here, with our director, our staff, we're going to have a great year, without any doubt. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am going to be a little bit extra winded than my peers up here to express my gratitude, and then kind of also just have some final words as it's kind of nearing closer to my final meetings here on the Parks and Rec Commission. So I want to first express my deepest gratitude and share a little bit of reflections. Serving on this role since 2021 has really been an honor for me, one of the biggest in my life, really, as this was the community that I was born and raised in. So it's been really special to be on here. We've been able to help Montebello in these last couple years during reopening phases after the pandemic. We've shared a lot of valuable information and resources to our community, and we've provided constructive feedback in working with staff and also the City Council, and we've contributed to memorable programs like Stride for Pride and the community cleanups. Together, we've brought some new art and cultural ideas, furthering enriching our city. So I'd like to thank God, my family, my friends, the Montebello community. I owe a special thanks to Councilwoman Angie Jimenez for entrusting me with this role, and the City Council for their partnership during my term. To Director Sosnowski and fellow commissioners, the Parks and Recreation team, we rock. Simply, we rock. Together, we've achieved incredible things, and I'm really proud of what we've done. So this is kind of my message to the community. I encourage everyone to remain active and engaged, whether it's a part of the school district, Golden State Basketball, PAL Basketball, YMCA Youth and Government, the Montebello Ashia Sister City Association, the St. Benedict's Church, Run Montebello Run, My Healthy Montebello, the Lions Clubs, and of course, our Parks and Recreation team and department. Whatever you find your passion in, just get involved. That's where I started. And these were just a few organizations that really helped me in my civic engagement and helped inspire me. While I may not agree with the recent recall elections outcome, it has reminded me the importance of critical thinking and listening. As we move forward, I'd like to leave you with some wisdoms that I like to follow from Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements. And the first one is to be impeccable with your word. The second is to not take anything personal. The third is to not make assumptions. And lastly, the fourth one is to always try your best. So this, in closing, is not a goodbye. I'll definitely still be participating in many events and contributing to our city as an engaged resident. So I just want to thank you all, commissioners and staff and the city for this time. Hopefully I can stay on a couple months longer, but if not, I just wanted to say thank you and happy holidays to everybody. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Seeing that our reports and orals are done, let's go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:01 p.m.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Carlin, all those in favor for adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, we'll go ahead and conclude our meeting at 6:02. Thank you.